You're watching Tag TV.
Good evening, welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Lepakshi Khurana. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Monday, the 23rd of July. Militants who killed cop gunned down in encounter in India's Jammu and Kashmir. Election candidate killed in suicide attack in northwestern Pakistan. And death toll rises to at least 16 in Kabul suicide bombing. And now for all the details. Security forces gunned down 3 militants during an encounter in India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province on Sunday. This came a day after a police constable was kidnapped, tortured and killed by the same militants.
3 militants were gunned down by security forces in an encounter in Kulgam district of India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province on Sunday. The exchange of fire took place in the early hours of the day when security forces launched a search operation a day after police constable was kidnapped, tortured and killed by these militants. Reportedly, the slain policeman, identified as Mohammad Salim, was abducted from his residence in Kulgam on Friday night, after which he was killed.
इसमें स्पेसिफिक इंफॉर्मेशन डेवलप करके रेड बनी गांव में जब अर्ली आवर्स ऑफ द मॉर्निंग में हमने आर्मी और सीआरपी के साथ वहां गार्डन लगाया तो एक्सचेंज ऑफ फायर में ये 3 टेररिस्ट मारे गए. इन तीनों की बॉडीज रिकवर हुई, इनसे हथियार मिले हैं.
India accuses Pakistan of training and infiltrating militants across the border to spread unrest in the Kashmir Valley. Pakistan, on the other hand, denies the allegations.
In yet another goodwill gesture, the Indian government on Monday repatriated a Pakistani prisoner back to his country through the Attari-Wagah border. The 16-year-old had crossed over the border about 14 months ago and was lodged in jail in India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province. India and Pakistan share tense relations as New Delhi accuses Islamabad of repeated ceasefire violations in border areas. India also accuses Pakistan of infiltrating armed militants across the border to spread unrest. Pakistan denies the charges.
ਕੱਖ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਸਾ ਜੀ ਉਂਝ ਹੀ ਆਇਆ ਸਾਂ ਗਲਤੀ ਨਾਲ ਪਾਰ ਹੋਇਆ ਫਿਰ ਪਕੜਿੰਦਾ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਤੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਰਹਿ ਗਿਆ.
ਕਿੰਨੀ ਦੇਰ ਬਾਅਦ ਵਾਪਸ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ?
ਮੈਂ 14 ਮਹੀਨੇ ਬਾਅਦ.
And in news from Pakistan now, a suicide attack on Sunday killed a candidate from Prime Ministerial candidate Imran Khan's political party, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf. At least 4 others were injured in the attack, which happened in northwestern Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province. The victim, Ikramullah Gandapur's vehicle, was targeted in the attack, which came just few days ahead of the general election to be held on July 25th. It follows a spate of bombings at political rallies before the election, the most devastating of which was a suicide attack this month that killed 149 people. As political parties step up campaigning, attacks across Pakistan have stoked fears of more violence in the country. Moving on, prominent Muhajir activist NADEEM NUSRAT has expressed concern that the Pakistani military establishment is actively busy in pre-poll rigging. He said the army generals seem to have clearly marked out their favourite political parties and groups who are being offered full official support.
Muhajir activist and the Voice of Karachi chairman NADEEM NUSRAT has said the people of Pakistan are being disenfranchised by their own army and are forced to vote for radical elements. Underlining the grave condition of the country, Nusrat blamed that even media is not free and is facing constant threats from the army ahead of the general elections on July 25th. He said scores of recent events and incidents prove the Pakistan's military establishment has decided to make cricketer turned politician Imran Khan as the next Prime Minister of the country.
Any election on 25th of July will not be a free and fair and transparent election. It's very clear. The results have been decided and the people of Pakistan have been disenfranchised. I urge the international community to look into this very carefully. This election result, if as it appears, it's not going to be free and fair.
NUSRAT even claimed that Pakistan's former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, who is in jail over corruption charges, was brutally treated through a judiciary that has been forced to cooperate with the military establishment. He urged the international community to play an active role and ensure that each candidate and political party is given a fair chance in elections.
In news from Afghanistan, death toll rose to at least 16 on Monday in an explosion which took place outside the international airport in Afghan capital Kabul on Sunday. The explosion happened immediately after the country's once exiled first vice president, Abdul Rashid Dostum, returned to Afghanistan and had just left the airport.
More than 15 people lost their lives in Sunday's explosion, which took place outside the international airport in Afghan capital Kabul, confirmed officials on Monday. Officials said that the explosion happened close to the circle outside the airport's entrance. It happened immediately after the country's once exiled first vice president, Abdul Rashid Dostum, returned to Afghanistan and left the airport. Under tight security, Dostum's convoy left the airport and exited through the main gate, where dozens of people had gathered to welcome him home. Dostum's convoy, which was not affected, made the trip from the airport to the first vice president's office in only a few minutes, as all the roads were closed to traffic.
More news from Afghanistan. Afghanistan's High Peace Council has declared Taliban's war as illegitimate and called on the group to end the devastating war. The members of the council have also urged the Taliban to enter into peace talks with the Afghan government.
Members of Afghanistan's High Peace Council, or HPC, have termed Taliban's war as illegitimate and have called on the group to end the devastating war. The declaration was made after the council met with Afghanistan's Ulema Council on Saturday. They claimed that Taliban's war doesn't have religious legitimacy and that the war is rebellion. The council also called on the Taliban to respond positively to the Afghan government's peace office.
همه‌شان گفتن که این جنگ مشروعیت نداره، این جنگ فتنه خواندن، این جنگ بغاوت خواندن، این جنگ مردود دانستن.
متاسفانه په دې جنگونو کې هیڅ ډول مقدسات خوندي نه دي. یعنی د هغې حرمت پامال شوی.
Organization of Islamic Cooperation had organized the religious scholars meeting earlier this month in Saudi Arabia. A declaration during the meeting called on all the Afghan factions to agree to a ceasefire and start direct peace talks. They also suggested denouncing violence, sedition and division and achieve reconciliation based on Islamic values.
Moving on to news from Nepal, around 200 people participated in a mass relay hunger strike held in Nepal's capital Kathmandu city on Sunday. The strike was organized to show support to activist Dr. Govinda Kesi's ongoing hunger strike to demand reforms in the country's health sector.
Around 200 protesters began a mass relay hunger strike on Sunday in Nepalese capital Kathmandu. The strike has been organized in support of Dr. Govinda Kesi, who is on his 24th day of hunger strike to get the government's attention. An orthopedic surgeon and activist, Dr. Kesi is demanding reforms in Nepal's medical education sector. Along with reforms in the medical sector, people are calling out Prime Minister KP Oli's government over unfulfilled promises witnessed by them.
सरकारको परफर्मेन्स यो 200 दिनमा के देखियो भने उहाँको प्रोपोगन्डा बढी उपलब्धि चाहिँ एकदम न्यून त्यस्तो किसिमको देखियो जनताले देख्नुपर्ने सपना भन्दा जनताको न्यूनतम आवश्यकता भन्दा एकदमै बाहिरको सपना देखाउने र जनता चाहिँ न्यूनतम आवश्यकता नै पूरा गर्न नसकेर समस्यामा बसेको छ धेरै नेपाली जनताहरू नेपालमा बस्न नसकेर विदेश जाँदैछ र धेरैले विदेश जाने लाइन कुरिराखेको छ एयरपोर्टमा तर सरकार प्लेन हवाईजहाज अनि त्यसपछि के अरे पानीबाट लिने जहाजहरू चलाउने सपना देखेको छ।
Gas pipeline to each and every house and a ship owned by the Nepal government in international waters are among the few promises that Oli made after winning the elections and becoming the Prime Minister for the second time. Although Dr. Casey's demands focus more on medical reforms, the huge support it has received from the people is bound to put pressure on the government over all the other issues too.
A traditional Sikh martial arts competition was organised on Sunday in India's northern Punjab province to preserve and popularise it amongst the youth. The martial art form basically works both as an offensive and for defence, blending physical skills with prayer and meditation.
A Sikh martial arts Gatka competition was organised on Sunday in India's northern Punjab province to preserve and popularise the traditional martial art form among the youth. Around 12 teams participated in the event, which was organised by the SGPC, India's apex body of Sikh shrines at the historical Chehata Sahib Gurdwara in Amritsar city. The weapons-based martial art form was propounded by Guru Har Gobind, 6th of the 10th revered Sikh gurus. It was an ideological shift of the Sikhs following the execution of his predecessor Guru Arjan Dev.
बहुत प्यारी खेड है ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਡਿਫੈਂਸ ਹਮਲਾਵਰ ਤੇ ਦੂਜਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵਾ ਇੱਕ ਦੂਜੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਰੋਕਣਾ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਇਹ ਖੇਡ ਮੰਨੀ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ। ਇਹ ਖੇਡ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਖਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀਗੀ। ਇਸ ਖੇਡ ਦੇ ਰਾਹੀਂ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਿੱਖ ਆ ਆਪਣਾ ਸੈਲਫ ਡਿਫੈਂਸ ਕਰਦਾ ਉੱਥੇ ਨਾਲ ਦੀ ਨਾਲ ਇਹ ਹਮਲਾਵਰ ਰੁਖ ਵੀ ਬਣਾ ਕੇ ਦੁਸ਼ਮਣ ਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਉਹ ਭਾਜਣਾ ਪਾਉਂਦਾ।
The unique martial art form basically works both as an offensive and for defense, blending physical skills with prayer and meditation. It was declared as a national sport in the country in August 2016.
Scores of devotees gathered in India's eastern Puri city on Sunday to celebrate the homecoming of Hindu Lord Jagannath as the 9-day-long chariot festival came to an end. The annual festival is a tradition that has been alive in India for over 600 years and attracts thousands of visitors from across the country.
Thousands of devotees gathered in India's eastern Puri city on Sunday to celebrate the Bahuda Yatra, or the homecoming of the Hindu Lord Jagannath, along with his brother and sister, and the 9-day-long chariot festival came to an end. Devotees flocked from all over the country with an aspiration to be able to touch the ropes of the chariots to pull it, which is considered to be auspicious. Amid the beating of gongs and blowing of conch shells, the deities were taken out of the temples and carried out in a procession known as the Pahandi.
ये जगन्नाथ जी का सालों में एक बार रथ यात्रा जो होते हैं वो नवोदिन यात्रा जो गुंडीचा यात्रा होते हैं आज नवोदिन आज वापस यात्रा है। इसी वजह से भगवान ये जो स्वर्गों से सारी देवता आकर शून्य में बैठे हुए हैं ये क्षेत्र को पवित्र करने के लिए सुगंधित करने के लिए भगवान जगन्नाथ बलभद्र सुभद्रा सुदर्शन जी को ऐसे धूप अर्पण किया जाता है।
The festival, which commenced on July 14th, commemorates the annual journey of the deities to Gundicha temple from the Puri temple. As part of the annual festival, the deities are taken out amid grand procession in chariots to Gundicha temple, where they visit for 9 days before they return to their main temple abode in Puri. This tradition has been alive in India for over 600 years, which attracts thousands of visitors and pilgrims from all over the country annually.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude, the top stories once again. Militants who killed cop gunned down in encounter in India's Jammu and Kashmir. Election candidate killed in suicide attack in northwestern Pakistan. And death toll rises to at least 16 in Kabul suicide bombing. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. Well, that's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.
You're watching TAG TV.